This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. I wouldn't call myself a huge anime fan, but at the same time, I admire anime, Japanese anime, obviously, because it covers an entire spectrum of emotion and feeling that I'm unaware of any other animation doing quite so well. For instance, some of it is goofy, some of it is weird, some of it is overtly sexual, some of it is dead serious, and some of it is in between. It's fascinating stuff. For instance, one of my favorite anime is Samurai Champloo, and it's funny, it's serious, it has sexual elements. It's just fascinating how it manages to be so complete, and it's clearly not aimed for children. But at the same time, I honestly think it's something that children would really appreciate. Another one of my favorite anime is Ghost in a Shell, also called Standalone Complex. And speaking of that, that's another thing I generally like about anime. I have no idea what Standalone Complex means. I don't even understand it in the context of the series, which I've watched virtually all of them. But I don't get it, and I'm actually okay with that because it implies to me that it's made for an audience that is greater than me. There are more people out there who perhaps do understand what that means. I don't. It doesn't diminish my enjoyment of the series, though. And speaking of Standalone Complex, it is dead serious. This is like the Law and Order of anime as far as I'm concerned. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It does not have a sense of humor. And if there is humor in it, it tends to be of the darker variety. So I really enjoy watching it because I know what I'm going to get. You're not going to get some weird quasi-human looking character. Everything is going to be taken dead serious. No one is going to joke about anything. And as long as you go into it knowing that, that's perfectly okay with me. I am fine with it. As I said, I like the idea that anime caters to different audiences. Not everyone will probably go for how dead serious and dry Ghost in a Shell / Standalone Complex movies are. But for me, that's perfect. I'm okay with that. If I want more humorous anime, I'll look at, let's say, like I mentioned, Samurai Champloo. Definitely more on the humorous side, though also deadly serious at other times. Or the anime with the dog and Ein, and it's eluding me right now, but takes place in the future. Great jazz soundtrack, and that's another thing I will mention about anime. It's that it tends to have great accompanying music. American cartoons tend to have a lot of synthy scores to them. Something some dude has assembled in his garage, it sounds like. Japanese anime is another world entirely. It has true soundtracks that have all sorts of instruments, electronic as well as acoustic, coming together to bring this stuff to life. And it's fascinating. But back to Standalone Complex and Ghost in a Shell. Part of what I also liked about it, and I liked a lot about it, is that it is traditional hand-drawn animation. It has computer-generated elements, but for the most part, it is hand-drawn animation. And I appreciate that. Not only because it's like a lost art nowadays, but because it looks so good. And the CGI elements aren't necessarily differentiated from the hand-drawn elements, in the sense that they look alike. You can obviously tell something is CGI just from the angularity of it, typically. But the hand-drawn elements aren't drawn in the same manner, but obviously hand-drawn. It's odd to describe, but it's really cool. Which brings me to Standalone Complex 2045, which is a new anime based on these characters developed by Netflix. And already I'm a little trepidatious about this because it's Netflix. And like I've spoken about in other videos revolving around Netflix and their anime, it tends to be all computer generated and very stylized. Stylized in such a way that I'm personally not a fan of it. I don't hate it. It does great with technology, not so much with people. So, in any case, let's take a look at a trailer for Standalone Complex 2045 from Netflix.
奴の身柄を確保する。行くぞ。
Nice.
こんなところで再会するなんてね。
戦争ごっこを楽しもうぜ。久しぶりだな、少佐。俺は少佐と一緒にやりたいんです。また厄介なのが現れたな。車体に捉えた。おいしいな、埼玉のやつ。
見つけちゃいました。
あいつ人間じゃない。あれは何だ。
彼らの目的は既存の社会構造の転倒だ。そう、こんなところでやられるわけにはいかないんだよ。これがわしの最後の仕事になるかもしれんな。評価最後になるんだよ。
これより作戦を開始する。
Well, that was the trailer, the final trailer for Ghost in the Shell SAC Standalone Complex 2045. And my God, I'm not liking what I just saw. Like I said, the animation style, the CGI, is not as expressive as hand-drawn animation. It's just not. And what I said before stands. The mechanical devices, the cars and that type of stuff, look fine in CGI, but I just wish they didn't do faces in it. It's so underwhelming compared to what we got in prior episodes of Ghost in the Shell, or prior movies, I should say, of Ghost in the Shell. And never mind that music. Oh, it's so not good. And keep in mind, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is, in the context of Standalone Complex and Ghost in the Shell, it's bad. Ghost in the Shell, musically speaking, achieves such a high level, and this is just popcorny. I'm not liking it. It could be great. I'll watch it, but I'm just not optimistic. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trail Interaction. Coming soon, look for my review of Terminator: Dark Fate. Peace.